welcome to Potato Fire Reviews. Today I'll be discussing the Arylic B50 Bluetooth stereo amplifier with audio transmitter. Arylic produces small integrated amplifiers which are loaded with modern features. The B50 has a MSRP of $139. Fortunately, Arylic has frequent sales and multiple discount codes available, which I took advantage of and only paid $95. The B50 is of class D circuitry and is rated at 50 watts at 4 ohms and 30 watts at 8 ohms. Physically, the amplifier is of a small form factor and weighs less than 2 pounds. It has analog and digital inputs, which includes a phono preamplifier, RCA line input connector, Bluetooth 5.2, optical input, TV HDMI ARC, USB Type A for a USB disk drive, and a USB Type C for connection to a computer. There is one set of speaker connectors and, unbelievably, a subwoofer output. There is an app called Go Control which assists in using the B50, and it also comes with a remote which is very handy. Now, for the big question, how does it sound? I use the B50 with my television, then with a small streamer for music purposes. I'm someone who believes your amplifier should cost more than your speakers, and at the time, the least expensive speakers I had were the Polk R100s, which has a 5¼ inch driver. When connected to my television, I used the optical input, and after a while switched over to the HDMI ARC, which is the highlight of this device. ARC means audio return channel and offers a two-way communication over your HDMI connection. When playing music, I connected the Weem Mini to the B50 via an optical cable. Then I placed a topping DAC in the middle to see if there was an impact on the sound. The overall sound of this amplifier can be described as a bit dry. Treble was recessed, mid-range was adequate and somewhat muffled, bass was a bit slow, not as fast as expected. To get this amplifier to achieve a more pleasing sound, I would use the equalizer on the Go Control app to fine-tune and improve the sound. There is an option to adjust the treble, mid-range, and bass, or to use the 7 preset EQs. Additionally, the app has a deep bass button, which acts like a loudness switch on a vintage amplifier. If you're using a subwoofer, there is an option to adjust the sub-out filter between 50 to 300 hertz. This is not my first small, inexpensive Class D amplifier. When I was younger and had a tight budget, I would purchase these small amplifiers. I would actually call them China Hi-Fi because they always had some form of issues and communication with the seller was always a hassle. I had one which would spark every time I plug it into the electrical outlet, and the other one gradually had sound issues within the first 3 months. It would be unfair to compare the Arylic to amplifiers that I review here on YouTube because of the huge price gap. Some pros of the B50 are: it is an excellent choice for near-field listening, such as 10 feet or less from your speakers. The Bluetooth connection is very powerful and works from a closed room on the other side of my home. Finally, the HDMI ARC connection, which has CEC feature, allows you to control the volume of the amplifier from your TV's remote. Some drawbacks of the B50 include no pre-output, so the amplifier could be used as a preamplifier. Using an external DAC had a slight impact of the sound being produced. Finally, the firmware is updated by using an external USB drive. I had HDMI connection issues with a brand new LG TV. However, the B50 worked perfectly with an old Samsung TV. After doing some research online, there is an update which assists with connection issues. I would recommend the Arylic B50 to someone who is starting out in the audio hobby and has a tight budget, or simply just wants to amplify your TV sound. Personally, I would use it for my TV instead of music purposes since it does not produce a refined sound. For speaker pairing, consider getting speakers that are rated 88 dB and more. I would not pair this amplifier with speakers that cost more than $500, such as Kef and Wharfedale, because you'll be restricting the speaker's ability to shine. I also paired two subwoofers with this B50, both costing over $500, and let's say the bass produced was not accurate. An amazing feature of this amplifier is you can use it to facilitate listening to your TV with your Bluetooth headphones to achieve a quiet listening environment and not disturb others. Simply connect your TV via HDMI ARC to the B50. Then pair the amplifier with your headphones. After receiving this integrated amplifier, I was wondering, what is the true cost to manufacture such a product, since it was shipped from China, well packaged, and cost less than $150? Overall, I do recommend this amplifier based on functionality and versatility, as it can be used to create a soundbar replacement. Remember, with this amplifier, using the EQ is highly recommended. Currently, I have a Gato amplifier, which is of class D Circuitry and costs a little over $3,000. So stay tuned for that review. If you like this video, consider subscribing and feel free to express yourself in the comments. Until next time, cheers.